What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about testers. I'll give you guys some kind of information about what they are, how you can get them, which brands usually will do some that you're easily able to get your hands on, and you know, what websites have reputable testers. For a lot of you, maybe you'll want to skip this video. Maybe this is obvious. Maybe you won't get any hidden gems from this video, or maybe you just want to skip to the part where it's like, okay, Sebastian, show us what you got, and we'll unbox them, and I'll show you which testers I ended up getting, which ones you can get your hands on pretty easily, because not all companies are going to do testers. So first things first, yeah, what are testers? For those of you who aren't kind of in the collection, you know, fragrance collecting space, for those of us who collect, it ends up getting pretty expensive. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. But there are ways that you can save on, you know, buying fragrances. Obviously, the number one thing is buying from discounters, you know, FragranceNet, JomaShop, FragranceBuy.ca, places like that. They're going to be discounters. They're going to sell them for even sometimes up to 40 or 50% off of retail price. And they're all legitimate as long as you're buying from a legitimate source. I would not buy fragrances from Amazon unless they're super cheapies. And I would not buy fragrances from eBay because there's just too many dupes out there, too much BS out there, and you might get led astray. So I only recommend buying them from reputable retailers or from the online discounter retailers. That being said, sometimes to cut costs even more, about another 10 to 20%, you can buy what's called the testers. And the testers are actually not meant for us. They're meant for the stores. So as you can see, I have a bunch here, right? I've got Acqua di Gio. These are gonna be big brands, you know? These aren't just, you know, random fragrances. These are the main brands that you're gonna see in stores. Acqua di Gio, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Summer Vibes, Coach for Men, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women, CK1 for men, and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, the original as well, for men. So they're meant for stores. They're meant to be the testers that you see in the store that you try out. They're gonna come in kind of more nondescript packaging. There's no real standardized format of what they're gonna look like, as long as they have the principal display panel on the back, and they have the distributor, and they have all the stuff that they need to show, you know, the net weight, the fluid weight, the volume as well, all that good stuff. But for the most part, they're just gonna come in white boxes like this, or in just plain cardboard boxes like this, because the presentation doesn't matter anymore. They're not selling it to anybody. They're selling it to these, they're sending them out to these, you know, Sephora or whoever, so that the people can test them out while they're there. So these boxes are just discarded on day one. So the boxes are gonna look kind of like this. They're gonna be kind of weird. And inside, you know, you're gonna get varying results. And I'll show you kind of how to make sure you know what you're getting. Oh, am I gonna have a cap on mine? I'll show you. So it depends on the tester that you get, but depending on the brand and depending on the individual fragrance, you could either A, get a bottle that looks the exact same as what everybody else is buying. It just comes in the nondescript packaging. Or B, you could get the exact same presentation that everybody else is getting, but it won't have a cap. Or C, you'll get the exact same presentation that everybody else is getting, but it'll say tester on it. Okay? And the juice, of course, is always gonna be the same because it's for people to try out before they purchase the product. So it's advantageous for these companies to be making these testers, because then they can send them out cheaply without having to spend as much money on presentation of everything, and they'll still get the point across, and they'll still get people to buy their stuff. But some discounters like FragranceNet and JomaShop specifically are gonna be really good sources of you know, these testers. They also sell the testers. The testers are gonna be cheaper by a decent margin. Yeah, you think, you know, oh, 10 to 20%, that's not a big deal. But if you're buying a $200 fragrance like, you know, Creed Green Irish Tweed, right? This one doesn't have a cap. So, you know, depends on the brand, of course, right? Like we talked about. But 10 to 20%, that's $20 to $40 right there. Just boom, instantly that you saved. as long as you're willing to be like, well, I don't really need the cap. I'm using this for my Decant website, Decant World. So I really don't care about the cap. I already have Creed Aventus, and that has the cap if I really care about the cap. But I'm decanting that out. Same with these guys. I don't really care. Most of these are gonna have caps and everything and look normal, but I don't really care even if they didn't, because for the most part, these are just going up on my Decant website. So yeah, let's just jump into it. The way that you can check it out on FragranceNet and on JomoShop is you just look at the picture. They have to show if there's going to be a cap or if there's not going to be a cap, because they have to show the presentation as listed or something. It was an issue that even I came up with on my Decant website. You have to show exactly what the product is going to look like when it comes. Otherwise you like incur legal issues, or you enter like a legal gray area. So if it's a legitimate website, if it's a legit one like FragranceNet or JomoShop, they're gonna show you what it's gonna look like. So you'll see if there's no cap on there. You'll see if there's gonna be a cap on there. So if you look in the little picture and it has a cap, it's gonna come with the cap 99% of the time. So that's kind of your little hack of like, well, is it gonna come like that or is it not? It has to. So yeah, so let's just unbox them. I'll show you guys what they're gonna kind of look like here. So we'll pop open this Acqua di Gio here. A classic, right? I knew I had to get some of the classics for the website. So here's the Acqua di Gio. Everything looks the exact same. It doesn't even say tester. Sometimes it'll say tester on the bottom. Just says Acqua di Gio, Eau de Toilette, Giorgio Armani, cap and everything, right? So exact same presentation as it would. Does it even say tester down here on the little sticker on the bottom? No, it doesn't. So really the only thing that was different is this. But this is a refillable one. This is the new refillable. So that's why it was a little bit weird there. You just unscrew it. That'll be easy for me to decant out, actually. That's kind of nice. So those are the new kind of refillable ones. That's nice, saves on glass and everything, and you know, so save the environment, right? Next we have Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Summer Vibes. So Dolce & Gabbana is another brand that is more likely to be selling these on, on the retail websites, the discount websites. Some brands don't do them. Some brands don't sell them to just anybody. They're only going to Sephora and they're only meant for use in the store or whatever, Creed does do the testers. So you can find testers pretty often. So I actually just ordered another Aventus one because Aventus keeps selling out on my Decant website. So I got another big container, but I got the tester because, hey, I already have the cap. I love the fragrance, but I already have the cap, and you're gonna save a good amount of money on these ones. Dolce & Gabbana, yeah, they also do the testers most of the time. Same thing, this doesn't say tester on it. Presentation is exactly what you're gonna get in the store, but I saved a buttload of money. So this ended up being probably like, I don't know, 30 bucks or 20 bucks instead of like 50, 60 bucks, something like that. So Summer Vibes, right? They just released a new one, by the way. Tell me what y'all think about this one. In the comments, let me know have you smelled the new Dolce & Gabbana? It's called like Capri in Love Forever or something. Capri in Love, something like that. It's more like fruity fig, cedar. It's not like a citrus blast like the previous summer flankers that were released. And they say it's here to stay. So I don't know. It hasn't been received very well on Fragrantica so far. So let me know. I mean, there haven't been a ton of reviews yet, so let me know in the comments. What do you think about that? Anyway, okay, so moving on to the next one. Coach New York, right? Coach for Men. This is the Eau de Toilette. You pick this up for dirt cheap, okay? So really, these you're gonna save a good amount of money on. Boom. Exact same thing, but on the back, it'll say the notes. So then when the gal or the guy or whoever is in the store and they're like, oh, you should totally buy this fragrance. It has notes of cardamom, vetiver, poire nashi, green nashi, cardamom, vetiver. I don't know what that really means, but whatever. Yeah, cardamom, vetiver, and green nashi. Green notes, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so Coach for Men, here it is. I don't know what this little thing is, if that's supposed to come off. I don't actually own any Coach fragrances, so this is my first one, but this one gets a decent amount of hype. Maybe let's check it out. We'll do a little quick review for the channel, huh? I know I was supposed to be mainly just talking about testers here, but boom. Weird atomizer, don't really like that. If this thing doesn't pull off, then that's kind of weird, kind of annoying actually. Oh, fresh, bubblegummy, almost Invictus-y, but a little more green. Regular department store fragrance smelling thing. Very nice, inoffensive, clean. Yeah, good fragrance. Actually, that's pretty decent. Wow, okay. Anyway, let's move on. Dolce & Gabbana, I'm telling you, they do a lot of testers, and the testers look just like the regular presentation. So it's a win, you know, there's no losing, right? Unless you really care about the box before you chuck it like 30 seconds later, right? Doesn't even say tester on it. Eau de toilette, light blue for women. Great white floral, sunny summer fragrance. Actually, some men wear this too. I've actually seen a decent amount of men that wear it because they say it's a solid summer fragrance. And I can totally see that. It's light, lemony. That's really nice. And on the back here, it'll say, yeah, lemon, Granny Smith apple, cedarwood. What says that a guy can't wear that? So there's actually a decent amount of dudes that wear that one. If you know, you know. Okay, CK1, another fragrance by Alberto Morillas. One other guy as well, but Alberto Morillas back in the day. CK1 is really one of the CK claim to fame fragrances here. This is where it all started, right? All the flankers, they've got like 80 flankers, right? They've been living off of the hype of this ever since. The quintessential summer fragrance, and here it is, available on my Decant website. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I actually like light blue for women better, on me at least. This one is definitely weaker for sure than the CK1. But yeah, CK1, a classic DNA. The Calone, summer, fresh, kind of Acqua di Gio type vibes. I mean, it's the same guy. Alberto Morillas made Acqua di Gio. So next, Dolce & Gabbana light blue. Another classic. I believe this was Alberto Morillas also. He had his heyday, guys. I mean, he recently did some stuff. You know, he did the Jeremy Fragrance Office for Men, actually, a bunch of those. Anyway, he's a genius. So same thing, lemon, rosemary, patchouli. Okay, it's gonna come exactly as you would see. So not all of them will, right? Because I mean, like we talked about, the Creed ones don't come with the cap. So some of them won't come with the cap. But again, just look in the picture and then you'll know. I've never been a super huge light blue fan, but people love it, and it's like, you know, it's in demand. I've had it requested, so I'm adding it to the website, whatever. Yeah, it's not a bad fragrance at all. Wow, that actually grew on me. I like it better than CK1 for sure. Very classic summer Italian vibes, you know, Italian summer, right? Anyway, this is the deal with how us collectors save money. You can buy testers, you can buy them off of, you know, discounters. You can buy decants before you buy a whole freaking bottle of stuff. There's ways to do this because, man, I know as much as anybody else. I have hundreds of fragrances, so believe me, it adds up. You know, I do this because I love it. I don't do it for money, that's for darn sure. But yeah, I hope that was informative. Maybe you got a gem in there. Maybe you already knew it. Maybe you guys are like, Sebastian, you're an idiot. We already knew that. And yeah, it's true, but maybe you didn't already know some of this stuff. So yeah, I'll put links in the description to these, to the testers, so that you can pick them up pretty easily, because the testers really are gonna save you guys money. And then yeah, I'll probably put them all up on the Decant website too. But anyway, enough chit chat. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next one.